And welcome, race fans, to another episode here at CRN with the Smoky Mountain Motorsports Late Model Stock Car Tour. And tonight we start the playoffs. Tonight we'll be tackling the Southern National Motorsports Park here on this 0.35 mile track. So standard setup, we get that first 20 lap heat race out here for these drivers to kind of get the feel of the track as a group here before they tackle on 130 laps here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to all the fans out there, everybody that's been supporting CRN, everybody that's hitting that share, the like, the bell, everything that you all do for us is greatly appreciated. So shout out there already to Barry and Chase Peppers. Rooting on Brandon. So Elvis is really the guy that been the man on the move lately, and really looking forward to possibly trying to steal this championship away from all these drivers. So we'll see what the 54 can do here tonight, as he's been pretty dominant in most races. So good luck to Brandon out there, especially from Chase Peppers. But let's see how these drivers are stacking up so far for their for practice here. We only got a few minutes left of practice, but Brandon Elvis is on top with a 14.122 is the fastest lap. Then Jonathan Carter right behind him, and Christopher Smith. Christopher Smith was the driver kind of going into the points, had the points lead going into the playoffs, but 12 drivers in the playoffs right now, and as they go along, they will be basically being knocked off one by one as these races progress. But I highly encourage all the drivers to keep showing up, putting on these great races, and a great show for all the fans out there. So right now, usually my co-host Derek Sherman is usually here, but he has out there supporting his little fellers out there with their baseball, and so he'll be joining us shortly when he gets done with that. So I have a feeling he'll be here probably by the start of the race, if not just a little bit before. But gotta support them kiddos out there. Of course, family comes first, but right now the family we have right here is the Smoky Mountain Late Model Stock Car Tour, and they have been putting on a great season so far. So nice big shout out there to Christopher Cash, all the sponsors, and everything that is out there. Right now, just if you're out there and your favorite driver is out there running, don't be afraid to type in the chat. Let me know who you're rooting for here tonight as these drivers get ready to take the field or take the track for qualifying to set them up for the first heat race of 20 laps. And see who we can grab on here for their first lap around, and it looks like it's going to be Jonathan Carter, first one out on the track, and the number 5 machine. Running that high line, get those tires warmed up, getting ready to take that green flag and ready to put his fastest lap attempt in, I should say. Let's see what kind of laps he can put in here to start early. I think it's going to be a pretty good race here. I've had a few races here myself, and I've done pretty well. So I like this track, even though I'm not a big fanatic of short tracks, but definitely a fun one here. So right now, Jonathan Carter obviously out there with a 14.3. And then see Dalton Creech out there going to snag that provisional pole over Carter. Rob Hatton back out here. I see tonight with a 14.4. Brandon Cooper in the number 8. Putting in a good time of 14.3. James Honeycutt, getting a little loose on the backside for his second lap. He already had one lap in. He had a 14.4, so good first lap there for Jonathan Honeycutt, but spins it around that backside, getting a little too much gas. I think that's just going to give you a little idea of what the drivers are going to be seeing out there tonight. You know, you can really get on the gas a little too early, you know, and spin that car around coming off of turn 4. Or I should say two coming down the backstretch. Brandon Elvis gets his lap in with a 14.225. Not quite enough to snag that provisional pole over Dalton Creech. Todd Lampier with a good lap out there with a 14.333. 9 drivers out of the 12 so far. Actually, excuse me. 15 drivers out there tonight, so another good showing. I with these short tracks, it does get hectic with a lot of drivers on there. So I think these smaller fields really put on a good show for everybody. You know, it allows the drivers, if they make mistakes, to be able to recover and maybe not get involved or getting rear-ended by somebody not checking up. But this track is so fast, got some nice banking in the corners, and you really got to pay attention. Hopefully your virtual spotter, or maybe if you're lucky enough, you'll have a real-life spotter. Maybe one of your friends or buddies stops in. I've had a few of those races myself where they definitely help out a tremendous amount, because it's really hard to sometimes know whether you're clear or not, or whether you're on your outside. All the different setups that all the drivers can use, from triple monitors, VRs, or even single monitors. So there's a lot of variance on what people can use and, you know, obviously afford, because this hobby does really kind of wrench down and test your pockets at times. But right now, we are doing wonderful here. We got 13 drivers out of the 15 with times in. We do have Christian Ruse out there in the 14 to see what kind of lap he can get in here to start this heat race. And that number 14 Smoky Pit Machine got to cut in there with a 14.490. So only 0.3 separate the whole field, and that's you know, pretty close. 0.3 of a second. So you know, it looks more on the track, obviously, because of the speed, but the separation here, and it just kind of gives a bigger picture of how well these drivers race around each other. They've been doing really well lately with some good runs, and coming in and obviously taking pits and stuff like that. This is a very unique pit entry there coming off of 4. So hopefully the drivers have practiced that in case they go have some green flag or runs tonight. 30 seconds remaining here at tonight for the race left of practice, but everybody but Austin Cooper has a time in. So looking to see if Austin Cooper gets out there and puts a lap in himself, or just elects to start from the back of the field. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes if you're not real comfortable with the track, and it's the best place to be, and just gotta avoid the wrecks and get out there. But it looks like Dalton Creech will be the provisional pole leader, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn off. Excuse me, I'm gonna turn off the driver's chat, because you never know when accidents happen. They might get a little heated and not say the most appropriate things for the air. All right, here we go. We'll empty this out. We'll give you this qualifying grid here. And on that first row will be Dalton Creech. Along outside will be Brandon Elvis. And the second row will be Jonathan Carter with Clint Walker. Third row will be Justin Coleman and Todd Lampier. Fourth row will be Brandon Cooper with Christopher Smith. The fifth row will be Mark Stewart and Larry Hensley Jr. Row number 6 will be James Honeycutt with Rob Hattenbeck. And then we have row number 7, Christian Ruse with Christopher Cash. And then row number 8 will be Dylan McDonald and Austin Cooper. So Dylan McDonald's getting in here tonight. Good to see Dylan out there. Dylan is one of our one of my partners for CRN, so it's good to see him get out and get some racing in occasionally. But these cars are getting underway here. Let's go down to the field. Turn up iRacing a little bit so you can all hear them. Good cars. It's gonna be a good one here tonight, folks. I can feel it in my bones. But we're gonna pull up the ticker here so you guys can see and track your drivers as they run the race. Lights are off on the pace car. Pace car will come in this time by the 36. Will get on the loud pedal. Brandon Elvis with that great start on the outside, matching the 36 there as we watch these drivers here go around the track. 36 has got that inside line, and I think it might be the preferred line. Oh, Brandon Elvis gets a little bit loose, almost stacks the wall there, but keeps it off the wall, keeps it going, maintains P number 2. Jonathan Carter in the 5, down on the inside of the 54, looking to take away P number 2. Justin Coleman in the 014, sitting in 4th place behind his teammate Brandon Elvis. Walker's in 5th. We'll go back in the back of the field. We'll look back here around Mark Stewart. Mark Stewart had a good race last week. Finds himself going 3 wide with the 8 of Brandon Cooper. Brandon Cooper down. James Honeycutt barely misses that one, but good avoidance there by James Honeycutt going to the outside of the 08. There's a 26 of Todd Lamphere falls behind Mark Stewart for P number 7. Back up to P number 2, we have the 5 and the 54 side by side as the 36 of Dalton Creech continues to run away here tonight out front. Have 15 laps remaining here in this quick little heat race. So far, 5 laps completed. Everything looks good. A little wiggle there from the 014, Justin Coleman, but is able to maintain control, still maintaining E number 4 right there in front of Clint Walker in the 02. Brandon Cooper in the 8. Christopher Smith. Oh, tags the back of the Christopher Smith. Tags up. Larry getting involved there. Larry Hansley. They are 3 wide. They're still going forward, folks, but no caution would be brought out as we've seen that live here. But they are 3 wide up there with behind the 33, Dylan McDonald. The caution will come out as they have Christian Ruse as the one who crashed here on SDK, and we'll go back and check that as a kind of was a drug out situation. The 9 trying to stay down. Ooh, the 14 coming down, bumping the 9, the 12 getting into the 14, down to the inside wall. And that there, folks, is what brought out the caution. It should be a pretty quick one here as they re-rack and stack them here. Go back live. Right now it is Dalton Creech with Jonathan Carter now in P number 2, and Brandon Elvis will now take that 3rd place, giving him the inside advantage over Jonathan Carter, followed by Justin Coleman, Clint Walker, Mark Stewart, Todd Lamphere, James Honeycutt, Larry Henry Jr., Dylan McDonald up to P number 10, Austin Cooper's in 11th, Rob Hatton back there in 12th, Christopher Smith getting involved there a little bit early, following back, but he's in P13, Brandon Cooper in 8th, Christian Ruse, Christopher Cash, like he is currently in the pits. A quick couple laps here as the pace car continues to pace around. The lights are still on the machines. And just on schedule, my buddy and partner in crime, Mr. Derek Sherman, has joined the booth, probably starting up his machinery, and we'll hear from here shortly.
No, Jimmy, I'm here. I'm just joining the session, actually. Waiting for the
We're missing a good one here so far right now as the lights are off on the pace car and they are going back to double wide. Dalton Creech obviously on that inside looking to pull away this victory here for this first heat race. I should say the only heat race before we go to the main event, but 36 looking pretty stout tonight. So he's going to get on the loud pedal there with the 5 on the outside, trying to squeeze down the 54 of Brandon Elvis, but not able to do stuff. Needs that run. So the 54-5 will continue to run too wide. The 014 of Justin Coleman looking to follow his teammate down that inside, but the 5 is going to fight hard and fight hard as he can to maintain that position for the main events. The 88 of Mark Stewart currently up to P number 5 moving forward. A little bit of racing back here. Got James Honeycutt stuck on that outside with a 28-6 of Todd Lamphere to the inside. Able to pull off that position. Larry Hensley Jr. is going to go ahead and tuck down that low side and follow the 25. We talked about Dylan McDonald out here tonight and the 09 getting a little stinker behind Larry Hensley Jr., but keeping control of it. So I think maybe I'm working the Dylan McDonald a little bit too hard here lately, as he hasn't been in the race car very much and more in the boots, but doing a pretty good job as he's up 5 spots from the start. James Honeycutt doing a fantastic job fighting on that outside of Larry Hensley Jr., but back up front is the Dalton Creech getting a little bit of pressure, but this race is over and it will be all Dalton Creech for the beginning of the heat, or excuse me, of the main event.
Yeah, Jimmy, it looked like it was a good battle up there for the front and in the back of the pack, so it's going to be an exciting race. I'm excited. Sorry I was late, but caught the last little bit of the race, and the cars look like they're going to have plenty of room to race, have plenty of room on the fronts. In the corners, Jimmy, I would expect a lot of battling going in and out of the corners for tonight's race.
Well, everybody looking to get a good finish here tonight, as it is the first race of the playoffs here at
playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs, man. Got playoffs. So Dalton Creech will start out front over Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, Mark Stewart, Jonathan Carter for your top 5. And Clint Walker, Todd Lamphere, Larry Hensley Jr., James Honeycutt, Rob Hattenbeck, Dylan McDonald, Brandon Cooper, Christian Ruse, Christopher Smith, Austin Cooper, Christopher Cash. Will round out your 16-car field here tonight. So looking forward to these drivers getting out there. They're out there getting a little extra time in as they're getting some warm-up time in. So they got 4 minutes to warm up and get out there and with everybody out there. So a little bit of extended practice here tonight as gives my co-host a little bit of time to get settled in.
Yeah, Jimmy, I was just thinking to myself, since this update with the rain and all that, are we going to see rain tonight? Are they going to put it on some rain tires and go run Southern National? Probably not, but it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, there will be no rain here tonight, as I believe in the forecast. It has 0 chance of rain. But, cloudy out here today. That says 34% chance, but I'm thinking we're going to see it just be a nice dry track out here tonight. More worrisome for the road racers out there. They see rain here tonight, they'll have to pause this thing and sit in the pits, red flag it or whatever, because these cars will not handle very well with a set of slicks.
Just first gear, let it idle, Jimmy.
I've been doing some testing with the new rain model that iRacing has come out with, and boy, let me tell you what, you might as well take about 15-20 seconds off for almost any car that you're driving, and you really got to find your line. And this is obviously in the heaviest rain, so I'm a big believer in practice and it's one of the most excruciating weather patterns at yourself and see if you can, get around at a good pace, because that's really what's going to come down to, following other cars. You get whitewashed from the spray. So, yeah, road racers will definitely have their hands full when it comes to those races. Right now, we got about 45 seconds remaining here in the warm up, and yeah, Derek, I think it's going to be a good one here tonight.
Yeah, Jimmy, just to touch on that, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks before I can get to touch the wet rain here. So I'm kind of jealous. Rain's finally here, and I decided to break my collarbone. So,
well, I don't know if you decided to do it on your own, or a little bit of assistance from other people out there that are a little bit careless than yourself. So
this is why I like iRacing. I don't get hurt. I wreck, I'm good. But it's going to be fun to watch tonight, Jimmy. By looking at these drivers in the warm up tonight, they're testing the limits. They're trying all the lines, seeing different entries, different exits. A couple of drivers did attempt the pit entry under green flag conditions. So I'm wondering if they're going to have that tonight. But, the stages do make it hard. I don't think they would, but have to. So,
a correction to a lap count here tonight. We will be doing 150 laps. Not a big deal. It's still a good show, and it's really going to put the test of these drivers. I went by the old schedule when I was making up the session. But yeah, 150 laps here tonight on tap, and Dalton Creech will be your pole sitter, followed by Brandon Elvis on that outside, and then Justin Coleman and Mark Stewart there for row number 2, Jonathan Carter, Clint Walker, row number 3, row number 4 be Todd Lamphere and Larry Hensley Jr. row number 5, James Honeycutt, Rob Hattenbach. Dylan McDonald will be in row number 6 with Brandon Cooper. Row number 7, Christian Roos, Christopher Smith, Austin Cooper, and Christopher Cash will make up row number 8. I still see Cash kind of grayed out, so hopefully he's not having computer issues and he's able to participate tonight.
So, Jimmy, you touched on tonight's the first race of the playoffs. It's going to be beaten. It's going to be banging. You think you're going to get an inch? No, someone's going to take a mile from you. So it's all about who can get the most and take the most without causing an accident. It's going to be, by the looks of it, it's, last week's winner, Brandon Elvis, Mark Stewart, P2, and Justin Coleman. They're in the top 4. Those 3 drivers in the top 4. Jonathan Carter, who is it? Mark Stewart, Brandon Elvis, Dalton Creech. I believe he was up there too last week. So it's going to be interesting. Dalton looks like he's putting a lot of time this week, so practicing. So he's going to lead us to the green flag there, Jimmy. So it's going to be an exciting one. I believe we do. Green flag's out, and Barney's waving it. They said, "Welcome to the playoffs, everyone."
Yeah, Brandon Elvis getting an outstanding jump on the 36 of Dalton Creech, trying to make his move here early, pinching the 36 down, but that outside is just not strong as of yet, as the new tires are in play. And I think we'll start seeing the mid to higher line come into play as the track rubber's in and get more grip out there. But it looks like the 014 is going to take advantage, and the 54 Brandon Elvis getting sideways, but able to collect it. It's a good catch there by the 54, but it's going to allow the 014, his teammate Justin Coleman, to sneak on by, as that 88 of Mark Stewart looking to that high side, and they are going to fall into single file 1 through, it looks like about 8. Yep, the back there with Dylan McDonald. So right there in front of Dylan McDonald, you have James Honeycutt. Oh, nice wall hit there by the 5. Right damage, so it's going to put that 5 maybe at a commission. He is checking up and going to the outside, allowing everybody to go by, and man, that's kind of what you see here. You see the 76 of James Honeycutt. He's got right side damage as well. So, how hard of a hit can some of these drivers take on that outside? But the 5 of Jonathan Carter, definitely in the back, definitely got affected by that one. So now he needs to hope that Akasha comes out and he can come down and hopefully get that repaired and take care of that car here for the rest of the night, as we're only in lap 7 of 150. Christopher Cash not out there right now, so hopefully Chris, your computer's okay, and we'll get to talk to you later. If you want to, you can come hang out in the booth if your car is has a blown motor for the night. But the 014 of Justin Coleman has gotten around the 36 of Dalton Creech, so here's something new here. 014 out front over his teammates and doing well, pulling away just a little bit or slightly away from Dalton Creech. And then back there in 4th place, we got Mark Stewart, Todd Lamphere, and P number 5, James Honeycutt. A little bit of damage. It doesn't seem to be affecting the car too much. He's able to keep Dylan McDonald behind him. That's currently sitting in P number 7. Christian Ruse there in the 14 with a great start so far in 8th place. Oh, hang on. We're getting a little loose down that inside to hit the apron just a little bit. It checks up the field ever so slightly. So somebody that we need to watch him for out tonight, though. Derek is the 80 of Christopher Smith. We haven't seen him up challenging for the lead in these couple later races. He's been tied up with traffic and getting involved in some accidents, but he had the points lead going into the playoffs. But looking to make his way forward and hopefully get up there with the top 5 to keep him in reach of that championship here at the end.
Yeah, Jimmy. I mean, he's been in he's been up front for the most of the season, and the last few races, he's had a couple of hiccups, and then he got stuck back there and gets caught up and stuff. I mean, it happens. Just hasn't had the luck. Sometimes it's all that holds you back. Sometimes is the luck of not getting in the spot, as we have a caution on the racetrack right now.
Oh, Larry Hansen Jr. See what happened to Larry back here. Brings out the caution right in front of the 80 of Christopher Smith. Just a little nose tap there by the 80, sending the 33 around. Looks like the 33 is able to get it going again. And that's going to be good news, I think, for the 5 of Johnson Carter and Christopher Cash. Christopher Cash is a few laps down, starting a little bit late here. Obviously, maybe he had some PC issues, or maybe he had to do the update. There was an update that was done today for iRacing, and I want to log in, and I'm glad I'm not a person that waits the last minute to log in to do broadcasting, but it was enough time for me to get that update completed and get out here on the track to get set up for tonight's race. But Dustin Coleman out front over Dalton Creech. Brandon Elvison going to be in that P number 3, but he's sitting in a good spot for a restart. Mark Stewart's in 4th. Todd Lamphere is in 5th. And then Dylan McDonald in P number 6 in that Baby Ruth machine. Bring back the old days of Jeff Gordon. James Honeycutt down in the pits, getting that car worked on.
4 gummy bears and a full fresh tank of fuel there.
Yeah, you're gonna need that fuel, but he needs to make sure he gets out on the track, and he does. He gets out before the pace car comes around. He's gonna stay on the lead lap, but Jonathan Carter going a lap down.
I don't think it's early enough to where I don't think you need to take a fast repair, as long as you're not going to be going down too many laps there, Jimmy. So,
anyways, filed up, pace cars in, and the 014 of Justin Coleman will get on the lap, and followed by Brandon Elvis. And Brandon's now going to have that inside line, maybe being able to propel himself into P number 2, but can the 36 make the outside work, get a big enough gap?
Jimmy, this is exciting because it's all about who can get in front of who, and it is the playoffs, so it really determines everyone's on a fresh, clean slate. So wherever you finish tonight is where you're in the point standing. So, but everyone's keeping it nice and clean. As you can see, Dylan McDonald and the 8 of Brandon
Williams to the 12 in the back. That was Austin Cooper.
I did not see that.
Yeah,
I was looking. Oh, the 8 and the 99 and the 14. 76. Okay. It looks like, oh no, Dylan McDonald and the 9 are all collected up in an incident. So
go ahead and see what happened here. Watching here as they enter 9 of Dylan McDonald, tagging the 8 of Brandon Cooper, sent around nowhere for the 99 or the 14 to go as they chase it up the track. It's going to open up the track for the 02 and the 33 to sneak on by. Christopher Smith in the 80 happened to avoid that. James Honeycutt, the 12 and the 5. The 5 being able to stay out of that incident. It's going to go ahead and allow him to get his lap back here. A little quick 4-car pile up here on lap 20. Did that happen? 24.
Yeah, it's good to see Rob back racing this week there, Jimmy. Good to see Dylan too. I haven't seen him or talked to him in a while, so good to see him racing. Obviously all the other drivers here, Todd Lamphere, Marta Stewart, Clint Walker, Larry, Austin Cooper, Brandon Cooper, James Honeycutt, Dylan McDonald, Christian Ruse. So it's always good to see fresh faces or old faces come back there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's good to see the drivers out here tonight. Got the 5 of Jonathan Carter down in the pits right now. Maybe he's getting his car worked on just a little bit. As we do have a little bit of time, he needs to be out of the pits here before they come down here pit lane. But caution flag is still out. Lights are still on the pace car. They go off this time. They will be going back to 2 wide. Get a shout out there for Christian Ruse from Johnny Williams. Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
Welcome to the fun, Johnny.
Yeah, welcome to the fun and for a fact, but we have teammates on the front row and the 014 getting ready to go green here as he gets on the loud pedal as Barney waves that flag as they head down into turn number 1. He's going to be able to take that lead nice and easily, but the 54 of Brandon Elvis will have to fight Dalton Creech in the 36. Now Dalton has the inside line, and these two have been battling back and forth for a good portion so far tonight. For Pete number 2, as the Mark Stewart kind of just following behind him, just kind of see how things go on, and it's good to see the drivers out there just having a good time. And I love to see clean racing like this, as Brandon Elvis is able to make that outside stick, kind of not letting the 36 able to get on the power as early as he wants to. He's got him pinched down there on the inside, and that's what's making the outside kind of viable at the moment. But he doesn't quite have the edge just quite yet for the 36. But this is going to allow the 014 Justin Coleman to break away just a little bit. So do these drivers have what it takes? Will they burn up their tires? Will let's let the 014 get out there and just kind of dominate? So we'll see how Justin Coleman is able to do out there in that fresh, clean air, as looks like, obviously you can't go anywhere. You just got to fall in line here when you got 2 guys battling in front of you. You see Mark Stewart having to check up just a little bit for the 36, as Mark's able to use, all the track. He doesn't have anybody currently on his outside, so but the rest of the field looks to be single file until the back of the pack. As looks like Christian Ruse back there, and P number 12. James Honeycutt is 16, getting a little wiggle there with Rob Hattenback looking to get some of his laps back. And that 99 machine 5 still has that damage of Jonathan Carter. They just kind of trail around here, as it is a long one here tonight. We're only in lap 38 of 150, Derek. So it's going by pretty quickly, but looking for that that stage break to happen at lap 50.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, the driver, obviously Justin Coleman, loves the fact that Brandon Elvis and Dalton Creech are side by side because they're kind of holding up the rest of the field. As you can see, Larry and Christopher Smith battling there for that P number 6 spot. So, I mean, Larry's making that high side work. It takes a lot of trust and confidence in the guy below you to not wash up and take you out. I mean, so kudos to Christopher Smith and Larry for racing clean. I hate being the car on the outside because I know I don't trust myself sometimes if I'm the car on the bottom. So it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal, but it's just I know it happens, and it's not always malicious type stuff. It just happens sometimes. It's competition.
Just good hard racing, and that's what the fans like to see out there is that battle single files out, and it looks like Christopher Smith will just
had enough of Larry on the top.
Yeah, we'll just let it go by, and maybe push that 33 forward and catch back up, and not let the rest of the field go. Got a little wreck back there. It looks like with Austin Cooper. Not quite sure what happened to the. Where is Austin Cooper? Oh, he's back there in P number 10 right now, so I'm not quite sure what. Did he crash? But he's definitely moving forward. I don't see too much damage there on the 12, so. But caution flag is out as we hit. Are we on lap 50?
No, I think they switched it to lap 45, Jimmy.
Maybe switching it up on me. Probably got a message and didn't read it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I sent you a couple messages a couple times, and you never read them, so.
Yeah, I don't. Discord during races is not my forte. I definitely have other things going on the screen.
I can text you on your cell phone.
Nah,
you won't hear it.
I don't even text and drive or text and broadcast. So, but yeah, a lot of drivers coming down here, and I think this was a good move by some. Dylan McDonald's gonna stay out, so I think they have plenty of fuel to make it to the next stage break. Now, I don't know whether they have enough fuel to make it to the end, but no, Dylan McDonald just got that lap lead, and he's gonna come in and. He's going to end up falling to the back of the field. But, yeah, I think this is the one time that they need, drivers should come in and top off on their fuel, maybe get some freshies, and then just work their way back to the field. But I think when everything rolls back out here, we're going to see where the leaders kind of fall into play. Where is that 014? We see him back here, so not quite sure. Hopefully he didn't get, speed in the pits or anything like that, as he was the first one in. A few drivers staying out. Let me pull up the tower, and then we'll get rid of some of this stuff.
I wonder if some people took some left side tires, right side tires.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. You can see where everybody's when everybody came in. Rob Hattenbeck was in on lap 26, so he decided to stay out. But let's see, pit time. So there's a pit times for everybody, and you can see some drivers maybe only taking 2 tires. I would have a good guess that Dalton Creech, Todd Lamphere with 2 tires, Coleman with a set of 4. So we will see whether 2 tires will work here over the 4. And Derek, the tire wear on these cars, it seems to be pretty good. So I'm pretty sure those 2 tires are probably gonna work out pretty well for some of these drivers. But we're gonna go back to green, back up front. Dalton Creech on the loud pedal is gonna put that 36 out front. He doesn't have anybody to battle with, so his 2 tires might last a little bit longer here. As he's able to run the full line. But does Todd Lamphere have what it takes to stay on the outside of the 014? As the 014, but the 54 comes around. Caution out again. Not what Brandon Elvis wanted to see, but doesn't look like too much damage there. We'll go back. We'll go back and see what happened to Brandon.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan was on his inside coming out of 3 and 4, and He's going to take the inside, and he got.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hard one there, Jimmy. I'm not even going to touch it, but I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, just obviously, no real damage there. Just a little bit to the left front there. None to the right rear or left rear. I'm sorry. So it just doesn't take a whole lot to go setting those goes.
No, these cars go around real easy, but yeah, you can see right there we have some left front damage on that 54, and I'm gonna take a good educated guess at Brandon fighting for championship to come in, probably get as much repairs done as possible. If not, use that fast repair and pop that thing right back out and get going here. And then, no, he's gonna let the drivers kind of do, or the crew do what they need to do. You can see in the background as the pace car is coming down the stretch, so he's going to get going so he can get out in front of them and stay on that lead lap. So Brandon's going to have some work cut out for him here tonight, as he's going to be back towards the back. So we'll be looking to the 014 to carry that team here right now for this team, but Shinru's in for some maintenance as well. Back up front right now will be Dalton Creech. He falls around the pace car. The lights are still on, and I believe they go off this time. Yes, they do. They will be stacking up 2 wide, and then we can see here. We'll put up the gap. Put up the gap with everybody, and you can see we have 8 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that stage brake caution, Jimmy. It just seemed like it put a lot of guys a lap down. So as green is out, and Dalton Creek is going to take us to turn 1, leading the race. He's going to have top lane fear, and Justin Coleman behind him fighting for P number 2. Justin Coleman is going to take that spot, and now Justin Coleman is going to be real hungry. He's led most of the race so far here, Jimmy, and I don't think he's going to waste any time trying to get back in front. So as you can see.
Yeah, he started on the pole, leading a good chunk of the race there at the beginning, and yeah, the 014 had a little bit of laps led there. Oh, but it looks like I think it was Clint Walker going around as he's crashed there, as we are still green. The 02 working his way as the drivers come around. Caution is out again. Oh, no. 014 had to check up for the 02 as the 02 is smoking.
Not the mass smoking, but not what Clinton wants to happen. I mean,
I will go back and check out, see what happened to Clint Walker from the air, and it looks like, I don't know if that was a little touch from the 88, but just, he had plenty of time to catch it. Should have had it right here, but gets down the apron just a little bit right there. Yeah, and then another little touch there by the 88. It's going to send that 02 down towards the inside wall, and he's going to hit the inside wall. Ooh, pretty nasty hit there, square on the front. Cars really don't like that too much, that's for sure. But
no, that's an ultimate fast repair move right there. So as you can see, the motor is smoking. So, and then you just hate to see it, Jimmy.
Yeah, and you can see the 02 is doing everything possible to get that car turned around, going in the right direction before the other cars got around. But this track is so short, Derek. You know, it only takes a few seconds to get around here, but 012 will definitely probably be down in the pits there. Or, yep, I think he's already been in and out. James Honeycutt's coming down into the pits here. Not a bad call, you know, if you're in the back of the pack here, you know, making sure you have enough fuel or whatever it may be for the end of the race. So you see the left side going up on the 76, trying to get left side tires completed, and he goes down and out. So might be a good call there. Caution flag is still out. The lights on the pace car are still on as they go off, and they will dump once again before we go. Green flag racing.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, it's the playoffs. There's a lot to go on. There's a lot of strategy. You know you're going to have to pit. there's going to be a caution at least at lap 100 for that second stage break. So the pace car is off. Party's going to wave that flag. We're going to racing again. Dalton Creek's on that lap pedal going down into turn number 1. Justin Coleman's going to try to get that nice run on the back, on the high side to take that P number 2 spot away. He's going to look down low to Dalton Creek to try to get that P number 1 spot. So they're coming down, and it's 2 wide 2, being the back of them about 3 car rows back. So as you can see, Rob Hatton back, Brandon Elvis, Larry Hensley, Christian Ruse, and Christopher Smith, and
Can they save it?
they keep on going. They keep on going. I know that's not what Larry wants, but good job. He had a little help getting that car straightened out by Austin Cooper. So
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, you still have a few cars on that lead lap here, but right now it's all Dalton Creech with that 014 of Justin Coleman breathing down his neck. And then back to third place at Todd Lamphere, having a great run in the number 26. Brandon Elvis has recovered quite nicely here as he got involved back, but currently sitting in P number 4. Rob Hatton back with joined us this week. He's been missing a few weeks, but good to see Rob back out there sitting in a good P number 5. Christian Ruse in that 14 having a good run. Larry Hensley Jr., even though he got involved, he's still on the lead lap in P number 7. James Honeycutt is in P number 8, not too far behind. Christopher Smith is working his way up to the field as he's a lap down. Had some early damage there. You can see he has a little bit of right front damage, and we're working on that halfway mark there now, Derek, and it's been a good battle throughout the field. A little bit of bumping and banging, as you can tell. These guys are ready to put their mark in here for that first playoff race.
yeah, Jimmy, I mean, everyone, at least in the top 5 or 6, are pretty much single file. Dalton Creech and Justin Coleman are starting to walk away from the field with about a second and a half lead. But, it's Justin Coleman just hitting his, trying to save his top stuff so he can make a run or make it to the end and not have to come in and pit, or what's the strategy going to be when it comes at lap 100? Who's going to take 2 tires? Who's going to take 4?
Who's going to stay out?
Exactly. I mean,
I'll go ahead and pull up the tower here so you can see, who is and who is not a lap down. You see James Honeycutt being the last car on the late lap, with Christopher Smith being that car is going to take advantage of that stage break right now as far as a lucky dog, unless there's another caution. So he needs to get back on that lead lap, but if anything, at least he's the first car lap down, and he's still sitting in P number 9, which will still keep him in the playoffs, as each race I believe they lose 2 people, so the top 10 are looking, basically right tonight, we're looking at top 10 finishes for some of these drivers to stay in the running.
yeah, Jimmy, and that's there's pressure, and then there's ultimate pressure, and I believe each race is going to cut 2 racers. That's the ultimate amount of pressure. That's going to, that's an incentive to practice every chance you can get for the next race. So, and try to race as clean as possible. As you can see, Dalton Creech and Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Dalton Creech as he's trying to get down low underneath Dalton Creech. So it's just almost looks like it's just a matter of time before Justin Coleman decides to jump down low and try to contend for that spot. There's a big old wreck in the back.
Brandon Elvis, Christopher Smith involved along with Rob Hatton back. So we will go ahead and see if we can debunk what happened back here. I believe it involved Rob. Rob Hatton back tapped the 54 just ever so slightly, then checked up. The 80 of Christopher Smith did not check up very well. The 14 of Christian Ruse tried to go out wide to the right, but was unable to miss the 80. And right there, it's just everybody else kind of checking up to allow the cars to go around. Not what Brandon Elvis wanted to see, as he was sitting in a pretty good spot there. So I think it's a new territory for Brandon Elvis here tonight, as usually he's out front. And now tonight he's been back in the pack a little bit but yeah, good running so far. Tough race, tough battling going on.
Yeah, towards the end of that, Jimmy, I mean, it's good hard racing. I think he just jumped the corner a little bit too much. But we are at lap 87, so we should have hopefully about 10 lap shootout for that second stage break there, Jimmy. And as you can see, Brandon Elvis is still in the pits, just going on a lap down. So
tough break for Brendan there, as right now that will put 7 cars on the lead lap. Dalton Creech, Justin Coleman, Tyler Fear, Christian Ruse, Larry Hensley Jr., James Honeycutt, and Brandon Cooper are here in your top 7.
You know, Jimmy, I'm probably going to talk for the drivers that are in the top 7. They're kind of liking the fact that they're the top 7 because, you know, they're there, you know, they're in the top 7, so they make it on to the next week. It's the 8th, 9th, 10th place finishers right now are the ones that are worried about it. But as Dalton Creech is going to lead us back to the green flag, and Todd Lamphere is going to battle the 014 for that P numbers 2 spot. He's going to be on the bottom side, and he's not going to let Justin Coleman have that spot. He's going to try to battle him on the bottom and try to hold off the 014. As you can see, they start fanning out as Larry Hensley Jr. and Christian Ruse behind them are side by side, as well as Larry gets that position. Here's the looking rear back on all the battling behind old Dalton Creech, our leader. Looking back on Justin Coleman and Todd Lamphere are battling. Todd Lamphere gets a little bit loose on the bottom, allows Justin Coleman to take over that P number 2 spot, and Justin Coleman sets his sights on Dalton Creech. I don't know, Jimmy. I don't think he has enough time to catch him and pass him, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, there's good old Larry Hensley Jr. in P number 4, starting to put some distance on the car behind him of the 14 of Christian Ruse. Brandon and Austin Cooper are battling. Here comes Christopher Smith. I believe that is not for a spot there, no. Jimmy. I mean, it might be it's a spot for themselves to be the first car 1 lap down. So
yeah, the 80 of Christopher Smith needs to get around the 12 of Austin Cooper, and he does that time by. He's down that inside, looking to put him in. He's in that lucky dog spot. This spot, this spot here is important as we're coming down to lap 96. And if they could break out that stage break here, whether it's at lap 100 or if they counted the last one, but this is a good spot he needs to be in order to get back on the lead lap when if a caution flies. A little bit of check up there by the 88 into the 12 for Mark Stewart. Mark Stewart looking to get into that position as well. We'll go back with Brandon Elvis. The guy that's been on the move for the majority of the races here towards the end of the season, and finds himself in the back of the pack and not where he wants to be right now, currently in P number 12. So wants to make a few more spots up tonight, and he's going to have to work extremely hard to do that here as the battling, ensues. And, right now he's kind of trapped. They kind of have him boxed in.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, he's obviously probably a little frustrated right now, and rightfully so, being as far back as he can, but with a little bit of a strategy and a little bit of luck, I believe he can make it back to the front before the end of this race.
Caution is out, so I think this is this would be a stage break. So stage break here at 102 of 150. I think they allowed them to race a little bit longer there as they were on a pretty good run, but wanted to get that get that stage break in here. And let's see. It looks like Christopher Smith should get his lap back as he's in that lucky dog position. But the winner of that stage break obviously will be Dalton Creech to lead us off. So what will the drivers do? Will they come in? Will they stay out? It's a call here. What are they going to do? And Dalton Creech and the leaders will all come in. Everybody on the lead lap. So I think if I'm a lap down, Derek, and I have the fuel to go the distance, I'm staying out.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a lap down, I'll definitely be the one staying out. But Christian Ruse did stay out. I think that was a strategy move to let's see if he comes in this time around, and he does. So maybe just to get that one lap lead point. So not a bad move there. As here comes the 014. So Justin Coleman, Christopher Smith, Brandon Cooper. I don't think that's right.
We're just gonna let things kind of work its way around, but it looks like Christopher Smith will come down here, and now that he's back on the lead lap, he's gonna come down, get some pit service here, and hopefully take a little bit of maybe tires, or no, it looks like he's just gonna go up and get some right side tires as the field is on the back stretch currently.
You know, it has
plenty of time.
You know, and that's why I was thinking, you know, a lot of these drivers are staying out to also get that one lap lead, but it also gives you a couple extra more seconds in pit road, considering you come in right behind the pace car there, Jimmy. So not a bad...
definitely not a bad strategy. As looks like Justin Coleman is going to be the leader of this pack as the field is sorting its way out. Brandon Cooper looks to be in P number 2. James Honeycutt pace car is in, and we're gonna go back to green. It's the field is still sorting itself out. iRacing just sometimes doesn't catch up on these short track racing, but Brandon Cooper Justin Coleman out front over Brandon Cooper, James Honeycutt, Larry Hensley Jr. there in P number 5. Dalton Creech is going to move back up into P number 4. Christopher Smith is now in P number 6. Christian Ruse is in 7th. Rob Hattenback is in 8th. Mark Stewart is in... he just moved to 8th over Rob Hattenback. So they're battling back and forth here. Todd Lamphere, Austin Cooper, Brandon Elvis is in 12th. I'm gonna need my tower to see who's on the lead lap. And it looks like top 7 are in the lead lap. The 5 of Jonathan Carter up on the high side, just staying out of everybody's way to get back out there on the track. But you can see the heavy racing back here with Rob Hattenback, Mark Stewart, Dalton Creech. Dalton Creech looking to get around them to get back up to the front, to catch back up to Justin Coleman. It's gonna take a little bit, I think, Derek, as passing is pretty difficult here tonight.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, passing is at a premium tonight, especially for that lead. It's like we always say week after week, it's one thing to catch them and it's another to pass them. So as you can see right there, there's a big old battle right there for P number 4 with Larry Hensley, Todd Lamphere, Christopher Smith, Mark Stewart, and Rob Hattenback are battling for the position, but that doesn't matter to the guys behind them as they're battling for the 4th spot. I mean, Justin Coleman, Brandon Cooper, and James Honeycutt are going to love this, but nowhere for these guys to go. Just we got to wait for Mark and Rob to sort it out and hopefully start getting be able to work that out for themselves. So just kind of time to ride around there, Jimmy. This is tough for the guys right here in that group. Todd Lamphere is trying to make a pass on Rob Hattenback and trying to get around him so he can be that first car and that 4th place car. So Larry's going to try to stay to the high side, try to see if the guys on the bottom are going to make a mistake so he can get that pass on the outside. But that allows old Christian Ruse to catch up and join this battle for that position. So as you can see, I don't think Dalton Creech is on the outside, about to pass Rob Hattenback. Larry Hensley Jr. getting real close to Rob Hattenback. Oh, they're touching. They're doing. Oh no!
And Dalton Creech and Larry Hensley wreck it right there at pit entry. Dalton Creech happened to go down through the pits. Caution flies here on lap 120 of 150. It's going to be a tough one. Hopefully, iRacing doesn't give Dalton an unsafe pit entry. But we'll go back and see what occurred there during that incident. Because they were racing hard here, trying to make up spots to get around as the 33 and 99 were battling. The 33 goes down to the inside. Just touches gently on that left rear bumper and then checks up, and then Christian Ruse is going to get involved with this as well. So nowhere for them to go. Christian Ruse, I think he escapes. Yes, barely. The 33 and 36 kind of wrapped up there at the end of pit road. Going to bring out this latest caution. So it's going to start things up a little bit. Now strategy comes down to play. We're working our way down. We only have 28 laps remaining. Justin Coleman and Brandon Cooper and James Honeycutt were out to a pretty good lead there over Christopher Smith. Christopher Smith overcoming some obstacles here tonight. He was pretty much the points leader champion going in to the leader, not champion, the leader going into tonight's race, but has overcome some major circumstances.
Yeah, Jimmy. I believe they're working out some. There's a couple of people that are getting some wave rounds. I should have got them last pit on a stage break. So I think that's what the big cluster was for. So I think they're trying to sort that out now.
They might want to. It looks like the lights are off on the pace car. I mean, things are getting ready to go green here. They don't have much time. These they're going to extend it. Yep, lights come back on the pace car, folks. The admin has taken over, and sometimes you just have to do that.
But just don't want. I don't think they want to mess this up to get everyone. I think everyone's going to want to try to get their spots what they were supposed to get last. So I think there was like 4 or 5 cars that were supposed to get the wave around. All those cars in the inside lane behind Larry were supposed to be wave around cars. So, and the green is out, and Justin Coleman's going to get on that loud pedal, lead us to the turn 1 as Brandon Cooper is going to be in P number 2. As you can see, James Honeycutt battling for that 3rd spot with Christopher Smith, as he's going to take that spot and follow in behind Brandon Cooper. Christopher Smith's just going to follow in behind Christian Ruse, Dalton Creech, and Rob Hattenback are all in there. Ooh, Larry Hensley Jr. gets into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, Brandon Ellis hit the wall pretty hard back there on that last lap. Yeah, I think that was a pretty smart move there by Christopher Smith. He could have got stuck there out there on that outside, allowing Christian Ruse and Dalton Creech to maybe catch up to him and get by him. So Christopher Smith looking to get back up here on the podium. He's had a rough few races with that 80 machine, but now looking to that inside of the 76 of James Honeycutt. James Honeycutt is on the outside, bending him off currently there for P number 3. But Christopher Smith looking to take that away.
Yeah, Jimmy. So also, what makes things really interesting is you can possibly finish, and depending on the point spread, finish P5. And if you had a couple incidences, cause a couple cautions, you do get penalty points. So that might drop you out of the contention for the playoffs there, Jimmy. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to make it and who's not going to make it for next week's race, as we have 10 cars on the lead lap, as Rob Hattenback is our first car 1 lap down. And then Brandon Elvis, Clint Walker's 2 lap down. Jonathan Carter, Dylan McDonald, and Christopher Cash are pretty much out of the race.
Yeah, Dylan McDonald sat out after he got involved after a few incidents, but we're good to see him out here tonight, and he decided to park it and let these boys race for their first playoff race here tonight. But it looks to be all Justin Coleman right now, trying to battle or fend off a hard charging number 8 Brandon Cooper, looking to take that away. Christopher Smith has moved into that P number 3 spot. James Honeycutt falls back to P number 4, followed closely by Dalton Creech. Dalton Creech looking to get back up front as he started on the pole earlier here today. And he won the heat race, and he was looking to possibly walk away with a win here tonight. He's got to pass number 36 as he gets down to that inside of the 76. So they go side by side as they headed down the front stretch. Looking like they're going to use that lap car as a pick.
Not a bad use of a lap car right there, Jimmy.
No, that's something I would have done. Definitely was something what I've done. I mean, they're out there. The drivers are out there doing do the best they can. The 5 is trying to make it to the playoffs as well. So he has to be out there to, better his chances. And even if he's not fast tonight, at least finishing, it will put him in have a better chance than parking it for the night. But right now, again, all Justin Coleman starting to walk away from Brandon Cooper here with only 10 laps to go. So Christopher Smith's in 3rd, Dalton Creech in 4th, and James Honeycutt for your top 5.
I know, Jimmy, that these laps are only like 14 seconds, 14 and a half seconds, but to Justin Coleman, they're going to feel like an eternity leading this race, because you never know what could happen. So as the battling is starting to heat up back here, as Christian Ruse and Larry Hensley Jr. are battling with Rob Hadenback to battle around Rob to try to catch each other. But as you can see, Justin Coleman's still out there to a pretty comfortable lead to like 3/4 of a second out in front of Brandon Cooper. So Christopher Smith is a little bit further back, tuned to a 1 second behind Brandon Cooper. So but he is up 11 spots for this evening, so he might get the biggest mover award tonight, as we are 5 laps to go, Jimmy. It's been a pretty good lap around, so pretty good long stretch of green flags here. Everyone trying to just get as much as they can, as clean as they can.
Yeah, laps are ticking away, and if I'm Brandon Cooper, I'm sitting pretty. I don't think I'm pushing my car too much to P2 in the first playoff race. After some of the finishes that Brandon Cooper has, puts him in a great spot here tonight as far as points and moving on. So next week, Christopher Smith, we've seen the troubles that he had overcome here tonight. Finally has that 80 machine up in P at number 3. Dalton Creech, after leading a good amount of laps, is up there in P number 4, so good come back there for the number 36. James Honeycutt's in 5th. Christian Ruse, great run. White flags in the air. Yeah, Justin Coleman comes down through turns 3 and 4 to take the checkered flag. So the winner here tonight will be Justin Coleman, followed by Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith for your top 3.
Yeah, I think this will be the first time we get to talk to old Brandon Cooper there, Jimmy.
I believe so. Derek? The drivers meeting down there on the checkered flag there for as everybody comes in, get himself a little burnout. It's victory celebration for that 014 of Justin Coleman. So it might not have been his teammate, Brandon Elvis, as he's they were pretty much shaking, baking the field. They're pretty much the last part. You see the 5 there going backwards down pit lane. It's interesting. A good old burnout there.
They only have 4th gear. I only have Harry. I only got reverse. Isn't R for race gear, Jimmy?
Yeah, race gear. I work for him going out pit lane anyways. But yeah, great race here tonight and great win there by Justin Coleman. Brandon Cooper pretty much staying out of trouble. I think the pit strategy helped him a lot with being out there, and then obviously Christopher Smith in 3rd. So Dalton Creech is in 4th. James Honeycutt finishing 5th. Let me pull up let me put down this ticker for y'all. Hide this, and we'll pull up the results here real quick so you can see who won the feature and who finished where for your favorite drivers. There you go. Justin Coleman, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith, Dalton Creech, James Honeycutt, Christian Ruse, Larry Hensley Jr., Mark Stewart, Todd Lanfear, Austin Cooper, Rob Hattenback, Brandon Elvis, unexpectedly in a P12 here tonight, Clint Walker in 13th, Jonathan Carter in 14th, Dylan McDonald, and Christopher Cash for your 16-car field here tonight. So, Derek, I think the playoffs are on a roll, so we need to talk to these drivers and really kind of see how they thought about tonight and how they're thinking about next week's race.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's going to be interesting to see how. I've never been a part of a series that eliminates drivers each and every week, especially 2 drivers. It's going to be rough. I'm glad I'm not racing this because my anxiety would be through the roof. Yeah, I wouldn't know how I'd do it because I just don't understand. I could have a bad night and be gone from the playoff. Unfortunately for Brandon, just think about it. Austin, Brandon Elvis, he had, the last few weeks he's been off the charts. I believe he's won the last 3 races before now, and coming into this week, and then this week he just, nothing he could have done. He got caught up in a few things and got put a lap down. A couple laps down, and he came back to finish 12th. He did the best he could, but it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Definitely a hard pill to swallow as excuse me. As he's in there trying to run for the championship and finish it in 12th. We'll have to see how the points lay out here tonight, and if he's going to make it in, as a couple drivers are going to get eliminated. So, and he's on, I think, might be on the verge, or might not make it. So we'll get with Chris later after the race here, and we'll have to check Discord and stuff to follow up and see how those points roll out here for tonight, and who is still in the running for the championship here at Smoky Mountain Motorsports. But Derek, let's go ahead and pull in the 3rd place finisher of Christopher Smith, if he's around here somewhere.
I got him.
All right, go ahead, grab him. So, Chris, this is Jimmy and Derek up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
You definitely had a very interesting night here tonight, as you were kind of back towards the back or midfield, and kind of got wrapped up in damaging your car there a little bit, but you're able to kind of avoid and work your way through the field, get back on the lead lap, and finish in P number 3 with a little bit of damage to that car. And I think tonight's finish, I'm assuming you have a good feeling considering that you were in the back of the field.
Yeah, that heat race, man, I didn't mean to get into Brandon. And it's just, after that, I was just like, well, I'll just start in the rear. And I know we have a lot of cautions. I had a little bit of damage there. I should have used my fast repair. But, overall, it was a good race.
You guys had some pretty good green flag runs. It was a quick one here tonight, 150 laps, and it seemed like we just started. So there was plenty to talk about, plenty of there's a few cautions here and there, people racing hard, and these cars really do go around pretty easily with a little love tap to that back bumper. But in either case, you walk away out of here tonight with a P number 3 for the first race of the playoffs. So you were leading the points going into the playoffs, and now this should move you to the next race. I believe next week you guys are at Stafford. So what are your chances of continuing this run here for that championship, knowing that Stafford is up next?
Man, just try to be there at the end, honestly. Keep the car clean. Stafford it can be rough. I'm not that great there, so we'll definitely have to get on the track.
Yeah, practice is always necessary especially when it comes to high intensity tracks and knowing how to handle it. But obviously, the ultimate is getting out there with your fellow drivers and finishing. So, but again, congratulations tonight from us up here in the booth, and give you a little bit of time for any shouts you may have.
Yes, I hated my dad. I know he's watching. Thanks, my wife let me do this.
Oh, you put your dad before your wife. You're in trouble, buddy.
Right. Yeah, we stay in trouble. We stay in trouble. Bad Company Racing, all the guys in the BCR chat. Coleman Designs putting this car together. Chastain Law Firm, and thank y'all for broadcasting.
Yeah, anytime, Chris. Hopefully you have a good race next week, and till then we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, sir.
And that's your third place finisher, the 80 of Christopher Smith, coming in here. Third place here at racetrack. It was a good one there for the 80 to see him overcome some big obstacles. So now we need to bring in the 8 of Brandon Cooper. Derek, can you grab Brandon?
Yeah.
And
Brandon, this is Jimmy and Derek in the booth. Got us?
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, quite an interesting race. So you started in the back and worked your way up, got caught up in a few incidences. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Yeah, started in the back. Christopher did get into me in the heat race, but he apologized. So, started in the back. Had a really difficult time getting through traffic tonight. I took a pit stop around the end of stage 1, took 4 tires instead of 2, and it took way too long. Went a lap down, but was able to get my lap back right around the end of stage 2 with about 15 laps to go. But once the car got up there in the front, it felt really fast. But in traffic, man, it was really hard to get around people. But we made it work and ended up with a P2 today.
Yeah, you're probably going to be locked in for the next round going into Stafford. Are you excited for that race, or tell us about your thoughts about Stafford next week?
I'm personally excited for every race. I am new to this league, so I'm doing a lot of learning right now. A lot of these guys, you look at my qualifying times, and I may only be a 10th off, but a 10th is a lot in racing like this. So I'm really excited for next week. Really excited for the for Martinsville in the last round. Hopefully we can make it to the top 3 or the round of 3. But yep, looking forward to next week.
All right. Well, I'll give you some time to give a shout out or special thanks to anyone.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my grandma. She's the most amazing woman I know in this world. She helps me with a lot, and my brother, he plays with me every day. We practice as much as we can, and just keep it going.
All right. Well, everyone, that's your P number 2 finisher of Brandon Cooper. Looking forward to talking to you next week, Brandon. I'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, Jimmy, I think we got Justin Coleman to bring up. So
yeah, I gotta bring him up from the lobby. And Justin, this is Jimmy and Derek in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Well, you finally did it, brother. You got that 014 up on the podium here tonight. Your teammate had a little bit of trouble here tonight, but you were able to capitalize on your position and bringing that 014 Chestnut Hill machine, out front and come away here a victor tonight. So congratulations. Give us a little bit of rundown on how the race kind of went for you.
First of all, I appreciate it. Hopefully got that monkey off her back. I mean, all the race went really good. The car felt great all run. I mean, I don't know, man. She was turning good, and I felt like we had a really good shot at winning. Had to get by Creech there a couple of times, but I don't know. The setup was great. Track was in good shape, so stars aligned, I guess. I hate Brandon had some bad luck. That sucks on his part. I always hate seeing teammates have bad runs, but
yeah, I mean, it definitely was your night to shine, and you were able to avoid the incidents. You didn't start on the pole, and Dalton Creech looked to be the man to beat as he was heading back up through the field. He ended up finishing fourth, but you definitely had the speed to maintain that lead over Brandon Cooper and Christopher Smith, and you walk away the victor here tonight. Next week, you go into round 2 of the playoffs at Stafford, so I think you're sitting in a pretty good spot to, you're locked in for next week. How do you feel about Stafford coming up?
Flat tracks are not my forte. I've gotten better, but still, we're just going to hope for a solid top 5 finish there. I'm not a flat track guy. I like these high bank tracks, but
definitely got to be a little different there for you tomorrow or next week. But I think with all the good runs, I think you're going to do well, and hopefully we'll see you up here next week. But tonight is your night, and tonight is the you won here at. And you can't take that away. So congratulations, and we'll give you a little bit of time for any shout outs or thanks that you may have.
Well, I appreciate it. First off, I want to thank you guys and Chris Cash for the league. Both do great jobs. Thank my team, Elvis Coleman Racing. Hate Brandon had bad luck. He'll shine next week, though. He's good at them flat tracks. Run down my sponsors, Chestnut Hill, the restaurant in Myrtle Beach, Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, BH Homes Construction, Gibbs Brothers Construction, Shock Eye Racing Performance, and R&R Boutique. And that's about it.
You definitely did all them sponsors proud here tonight. And again, congratulations, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
You too, Justin. That's your winner here tonight. The 014 of Justin Coleman coming away with victor here tonight for Elvis Racing. So, yeah, give the guy a shout out. He's been runner up to Brandon a few times, but capitalizing on his ability to have a great run here, getting around the track when he needed to, good pit stops, and staying out of trouble, Derek. I mean, it's just, you got to be good, and sometimes a little luck will work a long way for a race.
Yeah, well, I think for at least like Brandon, this one of those things that one thing went wrong, and then another went wrong, and then another one. The frustration, probably, it's nothing. You're right. It's one thing. It's one thing to be good. It's another to be lucky and good. And sometimes it's just not your night. And obviously tonight it wasn't Brandon's. He had the speed to contend. It's just the dice, the cookie didn't crumble his way. So you hate to see it. Hopefully he squeaks into the playoff the next round, because he still didn't finish horrible. He finished 12th, 2 spots out, and that could be the difference between 1 or 2 incidents, penalty points. So each caution is -5. So I mean, finishing 12th in the 10th place got 5 penalty points, he could squeak in. Who knows? So it's
definitely gonna be a close one. It's I don't have the math. I wish I could have an ongoing, like, on screen, kind of like where people are at currently and what the points would be. But
so it's a nail biter right now for everyone waiting for the points to come out, and I'm sure we'll have them for next week to let you guys know who's in and who's not. No one likes a cliffhanger, but unfortunately, we will have a cliffhanger for next week. So you better come back and tune in and see who made the playoffs.
Right? I mean, one way to get the viewers to come back to see who's winning. But again, thanks to all the viewers out there. It's good to see a lot of people watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. Not only do we cover Smoky Mountain racing, but there's other racing that goes on, and other broadcasters as well, as we try to put some good content for the viewers out there that might be a fan of this stuff and or like to support people that actually like to drive here. So it's a good one here tonight. I'll put up the points one last time for everybody to show you who and where everybody finished. So it's Justin Coleman, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith for your top 3, Dalton Creech, James Honeycutt, Christian Ruse, Larry Hansley Jr., Mark Stewart, Todd Lapierre, Austin Cooper for your top 10, and Rob Hattenback, Brandon Elvis, Clint Walker, Jonathan Carter, Dylan McDonald, and Christopher Cash for our 16 car field. So, congratulations to all the drivers. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for putting on a great show here tonight. And again, congratulations to Justin Coleman for the win. But I think until next week, same time, same place here on CRN, we will see you on the track.
Meow, 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 meow.